Next, we will explore the second area from Chapter 2, Empowering Learners, Teaching for Learning, and that would be reading. Our guideline in this area, the school library program promotes reading as a foundational skill for learning, personal growth, and enjoyment. When we think about our students and we think about them being learners, we know that they need to read not only for information, but also for enjoyment. We know that the more they read, the better they read. We know that our students must be able to comprehend what they read, to analyze that, and then to evaluate that text when they're reading in both print and digital formats. In order to really comprehend and process what they're reading, they must be able to think. They must be able to use critical thinking skills in order to judge the authority and accuracy of what they've just read. And they must be able to synthesize what they've read in order to create new information. As librarians, we certainly promote reading. We circulate books. We check books in and out. That's one of our primary jobs, and we love putting the right book into a reader's hands. We support reading and promote reading through our book fairs. Research has shown that students who have more books in their homes are better readers. So it's critically important to get books in the hands of children. We may promote reading through Accelerated Reader or another similar reading program. And AR has its people who support it strongly and those who do not. We may support reading through a Battle of the Books competition, or I know in Hanover County it's called Reading Olympics, where there's a book list and children who participate on the Battle of the Books teams read the books on that list, and then it's sort of a quiz bowl type format where we have competitions and the students compete, teams compete against each other, and a winner is determined for how well they know those books. We also promote reading through book discussions, through literature circles, through book clubs, mother-daughter book club, father-son book club. And I have a link here in the PowerPoint to the Midlothian Middle School where they do wonderful things with reading promotion and their book clubs and book discussion groups. We promote reading through sustained silent reading or through drop everything and read initiatives. And then finally, as librarians, we certainly support national reading promotions, such as the Read Across America Day, sponsored in March each year by the National Education Association. We promote reading at the state level through the Virginia Reader's Choice competition, which is sponsored by the Virginia State Reading Association, but co-sponsored by VAASL. And we can promote reading at the local level, perhaps by a one book, one school, one book initiative. Each of these is linked in the PowerPoint. We know that we promote reading, one of the fun parts of our job. Your readings for this week, your article readings, ask you to think about, are we reading specialists? Are we reading teachers? So along those lines, we want to think about reading instruction and our role in reading instruction as school librarians. The National Reading Panel in 2001, in their report to the nation on teaching children to read, identified 5 pillars of reading instruction: phonics, phonological awareness, and we probably in the library don't do a lot with those 2 pillars. But I would suggest that perhaps we do a lot in the library, or could do a lot in the library, for the last 3. Certainly children who are seeking and gathering information cannot really do that well if they don't comprehend what they're reading. So comprehension is something that we would address in the library. Fluency is something that can be addressed in the library through oral reading, reader's theater. And vocabulary is something that can be addressed in the library as we teach various library information skills. So for example, if you're teaching children how to use a dictionary, either print or online, you can be working with social studies vocabulary words or science vocabulary words or math vocabulary words in order to teach those information skills. Some examples of reading instruction in the library from Cindy Anderson's article, The 5 Pillars of Reading. When we produce podcasts, student-produced podcasts, perhaps book reviews, on the library webpage, that's helping children develop fluency. When we promote reading through the Battle of the Books or the One School, One Book, we're addressing comprehension and we're addressing vocabulary. When we promote or sponsor sustained silent reading in our schools, this is facilitating comprehension and vocabulary skills. Reader's theater contributes to fluency. When we utilize graphic organizers in order to analyze plot structure or character development or to help children take notes from something that they've read, then we are fostering comprehension. When we use KWL charts, what I know, what I want to know, what I learned, we are assisting students in comprehension. So while we may not be and are not really reading specialists, we're not trained to be reading specialists, we certainly can address some of these pillars of reading in the natural instruction and activities that take place in our library setting. Judy Marillion has identified 6 reading comprehension strategies that are critical in order for students to comprehend what they read. You will read more about them in the articles for this week and when you explore the school librarian's role in reading toolkit from the AASL website. But just think about how important these 6 strategies are for reading comprehension. Students will comprehend better if they can connect what they are reading to prior knowledge. And in the library, how often can we work to activate and build background or prior knowledge through the stories that we read to our elementary children, through research about an author or a time period in order for students to better understand that novel that they are starting to read. We can truly help to activate or build prior knowledge through library instruction. Second comprehension strategy, using sensory images, helping children to visualize as they are reading. Third reading comprehension strategy, questioning, teaching students to stop and ask questions as they read to test for their understanding. Fourth reading comprehension strategy, making predictions, working on inferences. And how often do we do this when we're reading children a story in the library? What do you think's going to happen next? We're having them to make a prediction, or why do you think that particular situation occurred? We're asking them to infer from what they've already read. The fifth comprehension strategy, determining main ideas. What is the gist of this passage? Practice in determining what the meaning or the message or the main idea is from a particular passage or a particular article. Using fix-up options, stopping to question, to ask, did I understand that? What do I need to do to go back to understand it better? Do I need to reread? And then the last reading comprehension strategy, synthesizing, helping students to process the information that they read in order to synthesize and create a new product. As I said before, you'll read more about these reading comprehension strategies in the articles assigned for this week, and on the School Librarian's Role in Reading Toolkit from the ASL website. And just a clue, you have an assignment coming up very shortly in which you will address one of these reading comprehension strategies. I'm asking you to take a look at the School Librarian's Role in Reading Toolkit. It's linked here on this slide. It's also linked in your overview and notes for this week. School librarians are in a critical and unique position to partner with other educators to elevate the reading development of our nation's youth. The toolkit available from ASL offers resources to ensure the school librarian's role in reading. So when you visit this toolkit, you'll see that there is an annotated bibliography. There are PowerPoints, there are handouts, there are links to reading research, to self-assessment guidelines, etc. I think you'll find it very useful and very informative.